What if I tell you that there's one single topic in IPMAT Indore's verbal ability section that has been tested 84 times in the past 8 years? This is not a typo, this is no clickbait, the number is actually 84. But here's what nobody tells you. The number isn't random because every IPMAT exam looks for a completely different kind of student. I went through every single paper in the IPMAT family, Indore, Rohtak, Kozhikode, JIPMAT and Bangalore, counted each question by topic, split them into Quants, VA and LR, and tried to match it against what each institute says it's looking for in its students. So by the end of this video, you not just understand what to study for IPMAT, but also why that examination actually wants it from you. Stick around till the end. We are going to give you the 5 most tested topics across all IPMAT examinations. Even if you remember nothing, you're going to walk away with the 5 that are tested the most.
Before we start, do not memorize these weightage tables like your shopping list. Once you understand why an exam is obsessed over, say, reading comprehension or quants, the syllabus stops being random and you will start beginning to predict the paper pattern. Now, IIM Indore started this entire IPM movement back in 2011 on a simple bet that management potential does not require decades of corporate experience. It needs sharp language, fast quantitative reasoning, and the ability to think under pressure. And that is exactly what the exam tests. Starting with verbal, reading comprehension appears 84 times, more than double the next topics. Sentence completion and vocabulary follow, then sentence correction, parajumbles and incorrect words. And let's be real, 84 RCs, 53 sentence completions and 45 vocab questions. That's not a number you beat by staring at a weightage graph. That's daily reps, time, practice and feedback on where you're bleeding marks. So, before we move ahead, a quick word for all of you IPMAT aspirants preparing for IPMAT 2027. Because बहुत confusion रहती है कौन सी coaching ले कौन सी ना ले. Something I genuinely recommend. PW has been in the IPMAT space since 2023 and the IPMAT Master Quest 2.0 2027 batch is exactly the kind of place where you can put in that kind of volume. You get live lectures with experienced faculty, daily practice problems with video solutions, question banks, weekly practice tests, 15 plus full mocks and 24/7 doubt support. Want more? The IPMAT Pro 2027 batch gives you access to all current and upcoming paid batches. Plus the 1 pass test series, Khazana, infinite practice and 4 hard copy books. And if you want the absolute full package, there's the IPMAT Power Batch 2.0 2027 with 2-way live classes, offline tests, premium books and one-on-one alumni mentorship. Personally, I'd go pro. More flexibility, way more material, better value. So use code RPS500 for an extra discount. Oh, and quick heads up, the Independence Day offer is live right now, so you're getting a really good discount on all batches. Don't wait for this one, enroll while it's up. Link is in the description and pinned up top. Coming back to IPMAT Indore, Quants has 5 buckets: modern maths, geometry, arithmetic, algebra and number system, with data interpretation and logical reasoning folded inside the Quant section. Roughly, modern maths and algebra are the 2 biggest blocks. 25 questions come from progression and series, 23 from logarithms, 19 from permutation and combination, 16 from set theory and 12 from modulus. Geometry and arithmetic form a clear second tier. 13 questions come from circles, 12 from triangles, 11 from time, speed and distance. Number systems is the lightest and remainder stops at just 8 questions. Now coming to logical reasoning. While yes, logical reasoning is hidden inside the Quant section, don't skip it. Arrangements has come 21 times in the previous papers, almost as heavy as logarithms. Makes sense, right? If you're betting that 17-year-olds can think like managers, the fastest way to test that is, can you comprehend dense, unfamiliar text quickly and reason through numbers just as fast?
Now coming on to Bangalore, it is the newest and the boldest entrant into this space, and most of its UG courses are based on data science and economics. So they're not looking for someone who's just good at exams, they're looking for someone who can eventually sit comfortably with statistics, machine learning and quantitative strategy. And this ambition directly shows up in their paper. For quants, we have a relatively smaller data set here because we have just got one previous year paper with a sample paper. So you can treat this as directional. Differentiation limits and application of derivatives are tested. That clearly signals the kind of analytical maturity IIM Bangalore expects from you. Logical reasoning is a real, distinct and a heavily tested section. Arrangements, odd one out and statement conclusion have all around 4 questions each, with coding, decoding, blood relations, Venn diagrams and directions also showing up multiple times. It has the most evenly spread out LR section across all IPMAT examinations, so you cannot cherry pick 1 or 2 topics over here. Data interpretation, modern math topics like probability, set theory and matrices have around 3 questions each, and calculus makes its only IPMAT family appearance over here. Now coming on to the verbal section, RC still leads at around 10 questions like always, but the rest is a grab bag. Fill-ups, idioms, parts of speech, odd one out, etc. all have 1 or 2 questions each. If Indore is testing, can you think fast? Bangalore tests, can you eventually think like an analyst?
Kozhikode's BMS is IIM Kozhikode's first ever undergraduate program, barely a year or two, and it's built as an honors with a research degree. The entrance test gives equal weightage to quants and verbal on purpose. Neither skill can carry over the other. The whole admission process, personal interviews, essays, is designed to find students with genuine clarity of purpose and strong language fundamentals so that in the future they can write research papers. Starting with quants, it's a different flavor entirely. Percentages lead at 9, followed by trigonometry and solids tied at 8 questions each. Geometry gets real weight more than Indore. Indices and ratio proportions round out the top tier, and modern maths is noticeably lighter. Probability tops at just 5 questions. For logical reasoning, there's no separate LR section here. However, the closest we can get to it is statement and conclusions at 4 questions, which is folded into verbal adjacent reasoning. LR isn't the differentiator here at Kozhikode, QA and verbal are. Coming to verbal, RC leads at 32. However, adding up all the vocabulary type questions, idioms, fill-ups, similar words and definition, they collectively outweigh RC alone. A completely opposite pattern from Indore, where RC outweighs everything.
IIM Rohtak built its IPM program second to IIM Indore, but the only difference is they added a full logical reasoning section to the paper because it explicitly wants analytical thinking and decision making tested directly in the paper. And it's known to have real swings in difficulty every year, easy one year and tougher the next. Now coming to quants, arithmetic is the constant. Percentages, profit and loss, SICI, time square distance, boths and streams, mixtures, ratios, averages, mostly direct and formula based questions. Modern math is present but a bit lighter. The odd unexpected topics are bankers, discounts, stocks and shares, which show up now and then just to test your range. In LR, arrangements, linear, circular matrix are the single heaviest and the most reliable part, often the easiest marks once you crack the setup. Clocks, calendars, blood relations, coding, decoding, analogy are staple and manageable. Data sufficiency and critical reasoning are consistently the trickiest part in the paper. Now coming on to the verbal section, RCs are short and few, which is in fact a relief and completely opposite to that of Indore. Vocabulary, synonyms, antonyms, idioms, spellings is consistently the toughest and the most unpredictable, with new question formats almost every year. Grammar and sentence correction are moderate and rule-based. Do not walk into IPMAT Rohtak's paper with a fixed mindset because arrangements and arithmetic are areas you can rely on, but the weightage and difficulty of other topics can genuinely vary from year to year.
Coming to JIPMAT, the Quant section is balanced across all categories. Percentages and time speed distance are tied at 10 questions each, solids and trigonometry also at 10 questions, quadratic equations at 9 questions. There are no runaway topics. Arithmetic and geometry both carry real weights, more evenly than at Indore. Now, logical reasoning is JIPMAT's power section. Logical sequence leads at 22 questions, coding and decoding at 16, puzzles at 14, and analogy at 12 questions. Data interpretation, tabular data and pie charts both at 16 questions are also unusually prominent here. The richest and the most varied LR section across all 5 exams. Now, coming to verbal, this section of the exam breaks the pattern. Grammatical error alone sits at 32 questions, outright beating RC at 27. Every other exam we have covered, RC wins outright. JIPMAT is the sole exception. Parts of speech and parajumbles matter too, but rock-solid grammar fundamentals are non-negotiable here.
5 exams, 5 different personalities. But now we are going to give you the 5 most important topics that pay off no matter which IPMAT examination you're appearing for. On number 5, you've got arrangements, which tops LR everywhere. Indore and Rohtak test it heavily. And once you crack the setup, they are the easiest marks on the page. At number 4, we have grammar and sentence correction. It is rule-based, it's learnable, and it has no luck involved. At number 3, we have the arithmetic core, percentages, ratios, and time, speed, and distance. This is one cluster that every exam agrees upon. Direct, formula-based, and never out of fashion. At number 2, we have vocabulary and sentence completion. It is massive when you add it up. Indore, Rohtak, Kozhikode, JIPMAT, Bangalore, etc. test it heavily. But the catch over here is that you can't cram it up. So you need to start today. And finally, at number 1, no contest reading comprehension. Remember my opening number 84 at Indore. But that is not the point. The point is that RC leads the verbal section in almost every single examination. So if you want to fix one weakness before you walk into your IPMAT examinations, fix reading comprehension. Nail these 5 and you're covered for every single examination, even before you opened up your target specific prep.
Here's the through line. Every exam is really just asking a different version of what kind of thinker are we building. Indore wants fast, sharp generalists, and Bangalore wants future analysts. Kozhikode wants precise researchers. Once you know what student your target exam is hunting for, the weightage table stops being random. While Rohtak and JIPMAT want broad, dependable fundamentals. And remember, these are rough averages, not guarantees. Use this to decide your revision order, not what to skip completely.
Know your exam's quant personality, know whether LR is written or standalone, and know whether RC or grammar dominates your verbal section. And now you should also know why. If this video helped, do smash a like and comment which exam you're targeting. If this video hits 200 likes, we're going to make a complete strategy video on IPMAT 2027, and we're going to do a deep dive on that one also, just like all our other videos.